Welcome to Small Screen Cinema with Tabitha and Dad. She's the pretty one. I'm the rugged one because I've got facial stubble. Makes
Well,
me
I
feel
just
like,
shaved. So,
oh yeah, I could go out and chop wood and then go kill an elk with my bare hands.
yeah, that elk would kill you.
Yeah, I can't kill a wasp, but I can kill an elk with a. No, I can't. I can't kill anything with a mosquito. I can kill mosquitoes. Does that make me manly, macho-y? I hope so. Oh, we are going to look at the 1977. Oh, was 77, right? I'm thinking 78. 1977 classic Snowbeast. And there is a lot of snow and a lot of beast, so it is adequately titled Snowbeast.
There's really not much beast.
We will get into that, okay?
But there
Um,
is a lot of snow, I'll give you that.
yes. You can find Snowbeast on MGM Plus, Fandor, Roku Channel, Tubi, Plex, Fossum, Prime Video, YouTube, and like 28 other places. I'm not kidding you. It's everywhere. It's like the measles are going to be in a few months. It's just everywhere. Nothing you can do about it. So, um, this was written by Joseph Stefano, and he wrote for such classics as The Outer Limits, The Detectives, Star Trek, The Next Generation, and Swamp Thing. You don't like Swamp Thing?
I don't like the next generation.
Oh, I'm sorry. He didn't
It's
like it
okay.
either. So, but what his biggest claim to fame is that he wrote the uh, teleplay for Psycho for Alfred Hitchcock. So um, that that's something I would put on my headstone. I wrote Psycho for Alfred Hitchcock, and he died in 2006 at the senseless age of 84. Um, this was directed by Herb Wallerstein, and he directed such classics as Father Knows Best, Rin Tin Tin, I Dream of Jeannie, and Mannix. In 1978, he became the senior vice president of 20th Century Fox and oversaw the production of Alien, 9 to 5, and The Verdict. So he kind of moved up really well. Uh, but this is one of the saddest things I've ran across since we've been doing this. He died at the age of 59 in 1985. He was killed by his housekeeper. And
Oh
then
God.
her and her husband took him in a car and then incinerated the car with the body in it. Obviously, they didn't get away with it because we all know the story, but yeah, he was 59 years old and gosh, and
Wow, what
I'm
a bitch.
59, and this is the sole reason why I've never hired a housekeeper.
Yep,
So,
that's it.
uh, the cast, we have Bo Svensson as Gar, and I don't know why he gets top billing. I guess because at the time he was kind of well known, but I don't think he's the top billed guy in this movie. He certainly doesn't have the biggest part.
Oh,
Um, he started his career with the TV series Here Come the Brides, who had whom?
David Soul,
And
Bobby
Bobby Sherman.
Sherman.
Yes, Bobby Sherman, who recently passed away.
Oh,
Um, he was in, this is a big part of my childhood, the 1973 TV, oh, I guess you'd call it a two-part series, Frankenstein. And that was so big whenever I was growing, everybody went to school the next day and talked about Frankenstein. It's a pretty cool adaptation, but it's like, oh gosh, man, I tried to watch it through one sitting like a couple years ago, and it's like, no, I think I'm Frankenstein out in my life. I started to
there's
watch
a
the new,
lot of Frankensteins out there. Yeah.
yeah, I started to watch the new Frankenstein. I thought, no, no, can't do it. He was also in the original Walking Tall. He did not come back for the second and third Walking Tall, and or was he in the second and third and wasn't in the first? He's in one of the he's Walking Tall at one time.
Terrible
Uh,
research.
Breaking Point, and this is interesting. He is in the 1978 movie Inglorious Bastards, Sterds, and the Quentin Tarantino film Inglorious Bastards, Tards. So he's the only person who was in both of those. Pretty cool. So, and he is still with us at the age of 85. The big dude too, really big dude. And playing Ellen, we have Yvette Mimo. How does she pronounce her name?
Okay, first of all, it's Yvette.
Yvette.
Surely, surely you've come across the name Yvette before.
I've come across Yvette before. I've known people named Yvette. I've never known someone named Yvette that started with a Y. That
Okay,
makes no
well, I've
sense.
never heard the name Yvette or Yvette in my life.
Yvette.
I've always heard Yvette, and it's spelled Yvette.
Well, people are
It's
wrong.
it's
Anyway,
Yvette Mimo.
all right, I'm going to call her Ellen, okay? And Ellen was in the movie Platinum High School, Where the Boys Are, the original, the 1960, not the remake in the 80s. Dr. Kildare. She was in Jackson County Jail, and a movie that we will definitely do on here, the TV movie Devil Dog, Hound of Hell. So she
She
died in
was
2000.
she
Go
was
ahead.
also in a forgotten live action Disney movie called The Black Hole, which I do recommend everyone checking out.
From like 79, something like that.
Something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
She died in 2022 at the age of 80. Um, we have Robert Logan. Did I pronounce that one right? Or is it Robert? Robert Logan as Tony, who should have had top billing, but who's heard of Robert Logan? You should have heard of him if you watched 77 Sunset Strip, Daniel Boone and the Adventures of the Wilderness Family, where he played the dad, and he also played the dad in the sequel to the Wilderness Family. He died in 2024 at the age of 82. And then we have the pride of Hartford, Illinois, playing the sheriff, Clint Walker. Clint Walker. And Clint, he is best known for the TV series Cheyenne in the late 50s, early 60s, I think, around there. He was also in None But the Brave, The Dirty Dozen, and a movie from Tabitha's childhood, Small Soldiers.
I never saw that though. You
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
let me.
it's a terrible movie. You didn't miss anything. For heaven's sakes, Clint Walker was in it. Would you trust it?
But it had that one great line from the trailer. We're not toys, we're action figures.
Oh, okay. Well, I did not remember that. But
Yeah.
like I said, he is from Hartford, Illinois, which is just a stone's throw away from where I grew up. Hartford is part of our school system. Um, and he moved from Hartford and
And not
settled in
Staviano.
California. I just don't know why he would settle in California. I mean, there's so many acting jobs around Hartford, Illinois. He died at the age of 90 in 2018. This movie aired April
Whoa, whoa,
28th.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa,
You did it again. No,
what?
no love for Sylvia Sidney?
No, I do four. Four. I
And
do.
one of them should have been Sylvia Sidney. How dare
Why?
you? Because she was an icon.
In what?
Well, first of all,
Snowbeast.
Beetlejuice.
What? Beetle.
Beetlejuice. Everyone knows her in that. She was like the old smoking lady in everything, first of all. And second of all, she was absolutely a gorgeous young woman in the 30s, and you should check out some of her early work then, like Street Scene. She played a bad guy on an episode of Starsky and Hutch. She was one of Buzz's love interests on Route 66 because Buzz had mommy issues and was always attracted to older women. Like, what, the disrespect.
That's not icon static. I do four. I am very rigid. I do four actors. And who am I going to bump?
Clint
Yvette?
Walker.
No, we are not bumping Clint Walker from Hartford, Illinois.
He doesn't have a very big part in this. Last week you made it sound like he was the star. He's not.
He's 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 the man though. He's Clint Walker from Hartford, Illinois.
Have you ever
My
actually
Uncle
watched
Rudy,
Cheyenne?
no, my Uncle Rudy was his bodyguard once at the Alton Parade when he came back to be the Grand Marshal.
That's
Oh,
great.
where was this old lady at the alt parade? Nobody knew. Nobody knew who she was. They asked her to be the grand marshal, but everybody said, "Who's that woman?" They said, "Okay, then we'll get someone else from Snowbeast, Clint Walker." So this is well before Snowbeast, anyway. Um, this originally aired on April 28th, 1977, on the National Broadcasting Company, and it was up against When Television Was Young on CBS, Barney Miller and the Streets of San Francisco on ABC. Now,
Yeah, I'm watching Barney Miller and Streets of San Francisco, I'll have you know.
how? Snow Beast is on. You have to watch Snow Beast.
No, I don't think I missed much.
Oh, the action starts so soon in this. It opens with a windy mountain with snow, and there's ice all around. A nice winter scene on a mountain. And there are two ladies that are snow skiing, and they stop and they see footprints, not human prints, not bear prints, big snow beast prints. I mean, it's horrifying. Then they hear a
Very scary.
roar, roar. One of them says, "Hey, is that the MGM lion?" The other one says, "No, no, that's a snow beast." No, maybe I'm goofy today. So one of the lady when they hear the roar, one of the ladies takes off while the dumb one stays and looks into the trees. I'm sorry, I don't look to see what's roaring. I leave. So so then the snow beast comes and apparently either attacks her, kills her, eats her, or mates with her. We don't know. That's how the
But she
movie opens.
does hold her arms out like she's waiting for a hug.
Yeah. Oh, snow beastie, come here.
Come here.
Maybe she thought it was the oh, what is it? The Bumble, the winter Bumble on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. So the next scene, we're at a snow lodge, and it is very crowded with skiers. And we see a sign that they are having their 50th anniversary winter carnival. And there are a lot of winter events going on at this celebration. And this girl, young lady, arrives, and she's Betty Jo. She's the snow queen for the 50th anniversary. So that's kind of big deal stuff. That's stuff that'll make the National Enquirer. And then a guy named Buster comes into the lodge and he wants to talk to someone. And then Tony comes out to talk to Buster. And then we cut to Betty Jo talking to Carrie, your hero. Uh, Come on, smile. Yeah, it's your hero. So Carrie brags that she was the original Snow Queen 50 years ago, but I was only 16. Okay, well, so you were the Snow Queen 50 years ago at the age of 16, which makes you 66 now. You're too old to be a Snow Queen. You're an Ice Queen now. So anyway,
You know, you're gonna be 66 sooner rather than later.
hopefully, I hope I reach that. So then we cut back to Tony and Buster, and they are leaving the lodge. And Carrie is Tony's grandmother. Uh, she says it's a fine time to be going skiing, and he says, "Shut up, bitch! Why are you in this movie?" No, he didn't say that. He says that they're going to check out on a problem. So Tony and Buster are on their snowmobiles and they're going to check something out. They come to the ski cabin where the ski patrol is, and Tony talks to Heidi, who was a smart girl who left, by the way, while our friend got eaten or whatever. And he's talking to her about her missing friend. And Heidi is adamant that a monster got her friend. And so Tony says, "You need to take us to the spot." And Heidi says, "No, I'm not going back there. My friend was killed there." No, no. So she doesn't go with them. So Tony says that they will find Jennifer and things will be fine. 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 So then Heidi describes where it happened, and Buster takes Heidi into the ski patrol place. And Tony and four other ski patrolmen take off on their skis to search. And we have a lot of point of views in this movie from the monster because they actually obviously didn't get a costume for the monster because you never really see the monster. You'll see an arm or a hand.
Oh no,
And
they have a costume. It's just very bad, so they don't show it to you until the last minute.
well, I guess you're right.
Hmm.
So Buster takes Heidi, or Tony and the four others are off on skis to search, and the monster is watching Tony from his point of view, and Tony finds the girl's bloody coat, and then he hears a loud, terrifying monster scream. Because I think most monsters, their screams are terrifying. And I think that was kind of redundant. Um, why I wrote it? Why did I write redundancy? I don't know. So we are back at the lodge, and Gar, Bo Svensson, and Ellen, Yvette, they show up, and all these teens are asking Gar for his autograph because apparently he's a ski legend. Um, and he is there for the winter carnival. And the teens leave, and he looks at Ellen, and he says to her, "What? Nice to be wanted somewhere." That's a hint that things aren't so good in paradise.
I was like, ooh, sick burn.
Oh, yeah. So Gar sees Tony walk in and calls him out, and Tony barely acknowledges him. And Gar tells Ellen that Tony knows he's going to ask him for a job. So,
Yeah, and then he's like, coming up here was a dumb idea when he's been there all of 2 minutes, and she rightly calls him out on that. And I'm exhausted for this poor woman already. We do so much emotional labor for you people. It's ridiculous.
oh, yeah, she's a saint, except she kind of has a thing for both guys. So,
Yeah, well, really?
yeah.
Her husband's being a jerk.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Gar, but it goes much deeper than that, and we will look at that in a moment. Gar tells Ellen that she was right. Coming up here was a dumb idea. Then Ellen rebukes him and says, I said you might want to look for a job outside of the ski business, you friggin' loser. Um, and he says, This is all I know how to do. And she said, You really don't want a job. It's an excuse. And then we cut to Tony talking to Carrie, his grandmother, in the office. And he tells her this
Wait,
was no animal
hold on,
nor a
one
human.
second. One second. Um, Tony is a terrible actor.
Yeah,
Terrible. He's like, he reminds me of a bargain bin Robert Wagner. And Robert Wagner's not much to write home about
I'm
either.
gonna say is Robert Wagner, isn't he a bargain bin Charlton Heston? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know about Charlton Heston, but
I
and
just pulled something out of the air.
it was with growing horror that I started to realize this was our hero.
Oh, very good. So he tells his grandmother this was no animal nor a human. And Tony saw, but the rest of the search team didn't. And he didn't tell them what he saw. He just told them about the jack with the blood on it, but didn't say I actually saw it. So she says, This is a fine time to have a panic before the carnival. And he says, I didn't tell the man because I wanted to get them home safely. So Carrie and Tony argue about what to do. And Carrie says, Hold off till the carnival is over. And uh, says, what should I do? She says, Well, put up some off limit signs in the area now. And that was kind of that. So
Not just before 4th of July. I mean the winter carnival. This is just this is Jaws. This is Jaws with a snow monster.
maybe Jaws a snow beast with a shark. Have you thought of that?
And question, why do all these animals slash cryptids know when the place they're attacking is about to have their most important event of the year before they go in?
There's big signs out. They can read. They're not dumb animals. They're cryptids. They're very smart.
Okay.
See them hanging out at the library, man. So Tony walks out of the office and he greets Gar and Ellen. And Tony says he has stuff to do, but let's get together later for drinks. Then he looks at Helen and says, I forgot how beautiful you are. And my reaction was, What the F? That's her husband is sitting right there. And you just And I forgot how beautiful you. I wouldn't say that to a woman, especially in front of her husband, who's
You would be
taller than me. So,
tactful and say, I forgot how ugly you were.
yeah.
Thank God I didn't marry you.
Oh, shaving your face has done wonders for you, woman. So Gar comes out with and he says that he needs a job. And Tony says, not anymore, you don't. And they shake hands. So Gar has a job, even though he doesn't have any idea what it's going to be, Get in there and flip those burgers. So you don't know. So Ellen is not too happy, but there is some palpable electricity between Ellen and Tony. Well, you can feel it from Ellen, but Tony is such a bad actor, you really don't know what's going on in his adult brain. So outside the lodge, one of the searchers comes by to see Tony, and he says that got Heidi, she's sedated, she's okay. And he says that he is supposed to have the day off, but he wants to take some searchers and look some more. And Tony says, nope, that area is off limits. Tell people to get a lot of off limits signed in that area. So the guy leaves on his snow machine. So then Tony puts on skis.
Snowmobile?
They're called the same thing. Snow machine, snowmobile.
Wow. Are you okay?
Yes. You've never heard them called snow machines?
Oh, they're called snowmobiles.
Yes. It's like a horse can be a horse or an equine, or a dog can be a dog or a canine.
Sure, fine, whatever.
Yeah. So see, now you made me lose my place. I gotta start all over again, Dad. So
This movie
um
aired in 1977.
so the worker, he goes ahead and puts on skis to go looking for the woman, thus defying orders. And he's out skiing looking, and he stops because he hears a roar, and he skis some more, and then he wipes out. He is holding on to the side of a mountain, get ready to fall down this ravine, and the snow beast comes and I guess just pushes him down or something. I don't
He
know.
seems to grab him by the head, actually. I thought he kind of pulled his head off.
Ooh,
And it turns out that watching skiing isn't that interesting. There
well,
are a lot of
you see
long
a lot of skiing.
sequences
There was more
in this
skiing
movie.
than in a James Bond movie. This was
Yes,
terrible. Yeah.
so much skiing.
So we cut to a family arriving at a farm, uh, uh, and the snow beast is watching them from a distance. Of course, you see his point of view. And a little boy goes into the barn area, and he comes out and he's kind of like shaking and like he's deer in headlights. And Dad asks, "What's the matter?" And he says, "Inside at the water trough." And so we just Snow Beast is still watching him. So Dad goes into the barn and sees the body of the lady in the water trough. Hmm. So in our next scene, Tony and Ellen go into town to find the sheriff. Tony and Ellen go into town to find the sheriff. Where's Gar? I don't know. He's got a job, but he doesn't know what it is yet. So I don't know. So anyway, Tony pulls into where the sheriff's at. There's a lot of people there, and he points to the sheriff and says, I want to talk to you. And then right then the sheriff gets a call on the radio. Clint Walker gets a call on the radio, and dispatch tells him that some ski patroller wants to talk to him about a murder down at the old Fairchild place, which is the farm. And he yells to Tony, it's going to have to wait. And he takes off in a squad car.
Yeah, I
So,
literally wrote Sheriff Clint Walker has entered the picture. Sheriff Clint Walker has exited the picture. Because his first scene is like, I want to talk to you. Not now. And then he leaves. I'm like, oh, okay. Bye.
do you have to trash everybody from Hartford?
Yes, you know I hate those Hartfordians. Hartfordites.
Oh, anyway, so Tony and Ellen sit down to have some dinner because I guess that's what you do. And she tells him that he's really built this lodge into something. And Gar, Tony says to Ellen, Gar said that you didn't want to come. And she said, I have 2 weeks off a year and I wanted to go to a warm climate. And I was afraid of seeing you again. And he says, what did you think would happen? And she answered, well, I kind of thought maybe like a snow beast would come out and start killing people. Oh, I'm weird on Easter. Ah, papers are hard. So she tells him that she's been having fantasies about him. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't even hear that from my wife. That's terrible. You don't tell a man you're having fantasies about him. And she said, the doctor told me it's because I'm not getting enough from the man I married. Um, and we find out that Ellen is a TV reporter. And she says, I go home to Gar and he is living in the past. He hasn't skied since he won the gold medals, which is like 10 years earlier. He was a hero and a star, and he doesn't deal with being an ordinary person very well. And she said, if I could fall out of love with him, it would be easier. And a marriage can't hold up with a lack of respect, and I've lost all the respect I have for him. And after that tirade, I kind of agreed with her. Yeah, we need to kill Gar. So
No, no,
she
no.
gets,
The conversation where they start talking about respect reminded me so much of Airplane that I audibly said, "What a pisser."
um, so Ellen gets up from the table and says she needs a nap. Tony stops and says he needs to hear, or that she needs to hear that someone loves him. And I guess he'd be the man to tell her that. As they have an odd embrace, he kind of kisses her on the head, and Gar walks in and sees the whole thing. So Ellen leaves, and Tony sits down, and Gar walks in, and Gar sits down to Tony. My first question would be, what the hell are you kissing my wife for? I don't care if it's on the head. Leave her alone. Um, but he doesn't. He said, I saw that, kissing my wife in public. And he seems so cool about it.
I was
And
gonna say he doesn't care. You're all
yeah,
offended on his behalf. He's like, whatever. That's her other boyfriend.
so then he tells Robert, guess who's been elected to crown Queen Betty Joe? Yours truly, yeah. Gar. Uh, and then Tony says, Gar, are you still a good marksman? And he tells Gar, what I'm going to talk to you about, don't tell anybody, especially your news wife who's by nature nosy. Um, and then Carrie shows up and yells for Tony, and Tony tells Gar to meet him in an hour at the swimming pool, which sounds a little homoerotic, but hey, I'm good with it.
I
So
did write down that this love triangle is really more of a thruple than a triangle. No one's jealous or anything.
yeah, so you should have seen the scenes that were left on the floor. Could not be shown on TV. It was bad. So we're back at the farm, and the sheriff shows up, and the family takes the traumatized boy away, and the sheriff is scanning the mountainside. Then we cut to the swimming pool, an outdoor swimming pool with all the snow around, but it's a heated pool. And Tony and Gar are swimming together, and Tony tells Gar, Ellen did a story, or Tony tells Gar what's going on, and Gar says that Ellen did a story on Bigfoot. And Gar says, I'm actually open to the possibility that there's a Bigfoot. And, Tony says, asked him if he's a good marksman. So he kind of puts it together. He says, you hired me to come out here and blow its brains out. And Tony says, I did not give you a job to be a hired killer. So Gar does not think that a Bigfoot is dangerous and should be left alone. So, um, and then Tony tells him that one of our guests is missing, and I think that thing killed her. Uh, then we cut back to the lodge. Ellen comes out and asks Carrie if she has seen Gar. And at that time, an officer shows up and tells Carrie that the sheriff needs to see Tony. And Carrie says, I don't know where he is. And when you see Tony, tell him to come, or he tells Carrie, when you see Tony, tell him to come out to the old Fairchild farm, the farm. So Ellen decides to go skiing um, by herself on a mountain.
More
Um,
skiing.
huh?
More
Yeah,
skiing footage.
after watching her ski for about 45 minutes. So then it cuts back to an officer shows back up at the Fairchild farm where the sheriff is, and the sheriff tells the sheriff that I could not find Tony. So cut back to Ellen skiing around, and she's skiing up to the farm, and she's watching what's going on from a distance, and then she sees footprints. So she skis away into the woods. And then we cut to Tony and Gar snowmobiling on the mountainside. And they stop, and Gar tells Tony he thinks he saw something in the woods, and they take off for the farm. And then we cut again to Ellen skiing. Uh,
Oh, and by the way, they keep referring to this thing as a Bigfoot, and I'm like, Bigfoots live in the forest. This is a Yeti. Yetis live in the snow. Stupid. I'm just
I
saying.
think most of these people are dead, but I think if you get to the right people, we can have this thing rewritten and reshot with a lot more skiing in it.
Let's do it. I'm gonna devote the rest of my life to that.
So then the guys show up at the farm, and the sheriff says that they found the missing girl in the barn, and she's dead, and she doesn't have a face left. Ugh.
That made me laugh. The lines were, maybe I'll recognize her when I see her face. She doesn't have one. And I know it was
Yeah,
supposed to be like horrifying, but it made me chuckle.
I screamed, ah, no face. So we cut back to Ellen skiing, and she takes her skis off, and she decides to walk. I don't know why. You're lost on a mountain. Wouldn't you keep your skis on so you can go faster? No, she takes her skis off and decides to walk. So then we cut back to the farm, and they decide that no human did this. Tony says that um, um, based on her suit, no human did this. And the suit that she's wearing matches the jacket that he found. And the sheriff wants to know why Tony did not show others the jacket. And he says, is that what you want me to talk about? Yes. What about Heidi saying it was a monster? Heidi did not see it, but I did. I saw it. We come back to Ellen, and she comes upon the place where the Bigfoot attacked the man on the side of the mountain. And she hears a roar. So she puts her skis back on and she starts skiing. Then we cut back to the farm. It's like a ping pong battle at this time. I mean, someone's writing this like, oh yeah, let's just keep intercutting these two scenes, you know. So we're back at the farm, and the sheriff says it could be a grizzly, and Tony says Gar thinks it's a Bigfoot. The sheriff says, no, this is not the Northwest. That's the only place the Bigfoot are. And now we know the Bigfoot are everywhere. They're in Missouri, they're in Illinois. I've got one in the cupboard. They're just everywhere now.
Yeah,
So
Sheriff Clint Walker is very chill about all this, by the
yeah,
way.
he's a cool dude, man.
He's like, Snowbeast? Yeah, yeah, you're gonna get that.
So Guard tells of his wife's news story on Bigfoot, and he said that they're all over. And then Guard tells the sheriff, you need to talk to my wife, Ellen. Then we're back to Ellen. She's trudging in the deep snow, hearing the roaring. Then we go back to the farm, and the sheriff says the story is going to be a grizzly attack. Ooh, yeah, we're gonna make something up. Um, da, 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 da. And tomorrow morning, we three should meet up here and go out and kill it. Gar says, whatever did that to that young lady has to be destroyed. So even Gar's like, yes, let's kill that thing. I love them, and now I want to kill this one. So now we're back to Ellen, and she's lost on the mountain. Snowbeast is watching her. She wipes out, and the Snowbeast is getting closer. She gets back up and skis some more, and then night completely falls. So now we're back at the lodge. And the story is going around that this lady died of a grizzly attack. And Carrie finds Gar and chastises him because he is late for an appointment at the school, like a snow carnival rally thing, like we never had in my school. But anyway, Carrie called the girls' parents and told them, and Tony would be there to meet them. So this girl that was killed, parents are going to come up, and the Tony will greet them, Mom, why don't you pick up? I'd have paid an actor to be me at that time to tell the parents, they don't know who Tony
Hold
is.
on. Hold on.
As Tabitha leaves, I want to mention that our sponsor is One Cardinal, One Cubby, One Beer for your baseball podcast. Please look up One
Sorry,
Cardinal,
you're
One
gonna have to
Cubby,
go
One Beer.
back. You froze for a minute.
I froze what? Where did I freeze at?
When Carrie called the dead woman's parents.
Yeah, and said that Tony would be there to meet them. Yeah,
Yeah, because I had notes on that. She called her parents, had them come in, did not tell them their daughter was dead. She just dumped that job onto Tony. And
yeah.
like, I'm not doing that. I'm simply not telling them that. That seems like it would fall under the sheriff's job description.
Well, wait a minute. Why have kids if you're not going to dump your tough shit on them? That's why
I'm
I
just
have five
saying, that was
kids. There's
really
enough
crappy
tough
of
crap
her.
going on. So,
That was really, really crappy of her.
yeah, but that's your hero. Yeah, okay. So
The
anyway,
the actress didn't do that.
I saw her do it. So so now we're at the school at this kind of rally. They're having some kind of a celebration for this snow crap going on. And the snow beast is outside the school, just kind of checking out what's going on from the woods. And the kids all gravitate to Gar, the gold medal winner, who's obviously now an impotent alcoholic or something. And Carrie tells Betty Joe to smile in spite of the murdered girl shit. You are the queen. So the snow beast is actually now looking through the window, and Carrie and Betty Joe see the snow beast, and they start screaming. And the snow beast sticks his arms in the window. Pandemonium breaks out, insanity's greatest moment, and everybody is scrambling in a panic to leave.
But I love how long it takes the band to notice everyone around them panicking. Like they keep playing for a few seconds before they're like, "What? Snowbeast?"
So anyway, um, so the snow beast sticks his arm through the windows, and everybody is scrambling. And then a lady shows up in her Jeep, and we find out it's Betty Joe's mom. So she pulls up in her Jeep, and she's got the little deal on her truck, Carnival Winter Queen, whatever she is, Ice Queen, I don't know. And the Snow Beast decides I'm going to attack her, and so he attacks her and kills her. And
And why can't she drive away? Was she stuck? It wasn't very clear. She just kind of sits there and waits for the snow beast to slowly lumber towards her.
probably because it was in the script. That's usually why stuff like that happens. So we cut back to the school where all the pandemonium is, and Carrie falls down because she's old, and even worse than that, the crown is trampled. I mean,
It's
see
a
that
little
dramatically.
plastic crown. You can
Yeah.
hear the crunch when someone steps on it.
So everybody runs out of the school, and Betty Jo realizes that the woman in the Jeep is her mom, and she runs to the Jeep and she collapses crying.
Poor thing.
Um,
I did feel bad for her.
yeah, I
That's
mean,
nice and traumatizing.
dealing with Carrie and then your mom dies. Terrible. So the next thing, the police are checking out the crime scene, and they're taking Carrie to the hospital. And she tells Gar to tell Tony that she was sorry, he was right, to shut things down.
Wait.
And
The broken crown is next to her on the pillow. Like it has to go to the hospital too for
I
repair.
did not notice that.
Amazing.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, um, so the sheriff says that he can't get a hold of Tony, and he will take Gar back to his place, and they discuss going out in the morning to hunt the creature. The sheriff tells Tony that he saw, or tells Gar that he saw Ellen skiing back at the farm. And he figured that she overheard a deputy, so decided to investigate herself because she's a news reporter and that's what she does. So we come back to the lodge, and Gar asks a porter if he saw Ellen come back, and he answers no. Gar is worried, and then he has flashbacks of him skiing in competition. And then he decides he's going to put on his skis and go skiing, and he hasn't done that since he won the gold medal in 1968. Way to go, Gar. Find that manliness that you lost. Go, Gar. Go, Gar. So, um, Gar's on the mountain and he's looking for Ellen. He's in the dark and he has his skis. And we cut to the barn on the farm, and Ellen is sleeping inside that barn. Excuse me. And then she hears the door open, and it is Gar. And she is so happy to see Gar. Should have been happy to see Tony, but she is happy to see Gar. And she tells Gar she is proud of him. They discuss why things went astray, and he praises her for getting lost. So he put on his skis again. And he says, once I got skiing, it was really great. Thank you, because I hadn't skied since I won the gold. And if I wouldn't have come out and looking for you, I wouldn't have put the skis back on. I realized that the skis really turned me on again. So um, he said that he stopped skiing because he saw too many champions become has-beens, and he didn't want to be a has-been. And he says, thought, if I don't ski, I will stay on top, which is ludicrous. Every Olympic hero, when they stop being in their sport, no one cares about them anymore. No one hears about them, cares about them. They're ghosts. They're ghosts. Anybody know what's going on with Greg Louganis? Mary Lou Retton? I don't know. Carrie
Damn,
Strug?
that's
I don't know.
harsh.
Yeah, I don't know. Mark Spitz? Where'd he go? I don't know. Um,
You're so mean.
why? I'm just telling you
Just
the truth.
mean.
So So she tells him that we were all afraid of failing, and then they kiss and embrace. And then the next morning, there's a helicopter looking for Gar and Ellen. The Snowbeast is scoping the farm where they're at, and Gar and Ellen get up to leave, and a body falls from the loft. I'm pretty sure it was a body because it happened so fast. I couldn't tell what fell. I thought maybe a pumpkin fell, but it's actually the ski patrol guy who earlier went out by himself and was hanging on the side, and the monster pulled his head off, and I guess stored that's where he's storing his meat.
So do you think the snow beast watched them have sex all night like a creep?
They didn't have sex.
Of course they
Would you
did.
would you have sex with Bo Svensson? That haircut? That is the closest thing to the Jeff Daniels haircut in Dumb and Dumber that I've ever seen.
You
So,
little pumpkin pie haired cutted freak. Come on.
all right. Oh, where are we at now? Oh, now we're talking about Dumb and Dumber, which is a much better movie. So, anyway,
Which also features skiing.
yeah, it does.
It
But
comes back
better
together.
skiing.
Yeah.
So, this body falls from the loft. The snow beast is right outside the barn and is trying to get into a very rickety door that apparently this 8 foot tall snow beast cannot push open. I'm like, geez, oh Beazle, just put a foot into it. It's going to explode, but he can't get in. So Gar and Ellen are trapped, but good thing that, this is the weakest Bigfoot ever because he can't push an old piece of wood out of the way to get the door to open. So then Sheriff Tony and the porter show up on their snow machines, and the sheriff spots the
Mobile.
beast. Sheriff spots the beast with his binoculars. Tony, who is heading towards the barn, is told to wait by the sheriff, and they get on their snowmobiles to chase it down. And then Gar and Ellen break out of the barn, and they flag Tony, and they are safe. So, and the first thing Tony says is, "Gar, did you stupor?" And he said, "Yeah." So that's
Then they
okay.
high five.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're back at the lodge, and it's kind of empty at this time. No one's out skiing, because there's a killer on run, and they're burying Buster outside the lodge. Excuse me.
The skis are on top of the casket.
Yes. And they give him a 7-gun salute. So I guess that's what you do to ski patrol people, not 21 7 guns. So inside the lodge, someone storms in and says that they got it. The sheriff shot it between the eyes and we are bringing it in. So outside, the crowd gathers and the sheriff comes up with this no, not the snow beast, a bear to the disappointment of Gar and Tony. So,
Now, the slow pan over the extras during this scene is just a masterclass in acting. Some of them are like super, super into it. Other people are like, what? Camera? Snowbeast? It's, I just love watching all of their faces.
when do I get paid my $7.50? So,
Pretty much. When's lunch? Where's
yeah.
the craft service table?
So, next scene, Gar and Ellen go back into town to talk to the sheriff, and Gar asks the sheriff if he knows they killed the wrong thing. And Gar says, we need to cut it open to see what is inside. Ooh, Jaw stole this. Yeah.
Shameless. Shameless. I was like, no, you're not doing the we gotta cut it open to prove it's the wrong animal scene.
And the sheriff says, who's going to cut it open? He says, let me call someone. Matt Hooper? Yeah. Can you come and slice open this bear and see what it ate?
And he says, no, I do sharks, not snow beasts.
There may be a license plate in it. So anyway, the sheriff tells him that nobody knows if this was a Bigfoot and that he can't go around telling people there's a snow beast Bigfoot thing killing people. Um, and Ellen argues that it is not a bear nor a Bigfoot. It's just some kind of a mutant thing. The sheriff does not want the hills full of people shooting at each other, which I can see his point. We saw what happened when the snow beast showed up at the school. Pandemonium broke out everywhere except for the band. So
Yes. I mean, they broke the crown for God's sake. We'll never get over
yeah.
that.
So um,
And I
Ellen
can't handle this Bigfoot is real argument because I've had this argument with Mondo many times. Bigfoot's not real. The end. I don't want to hear it anymore. There is no Bigfoot.
no, there's a lot of them. There's colonies of them. Did Mondo ever see a Bigfoot growing up in California?
No, because there are no Bigfoot.
Oh, people see them all the time. Gosh, I had one coming over selling cookies the other day. So, where am I at on here? Oh yeah. Um, Ellen doesn't believe it is a bear. She says it's a mutant of some kind. She suggests that they go out with the sheriff and Tony and hunt it down. So next thing, they're going up on the mountain. The snow beast is stalking them, and they decide to call it a day. And as they're on their snowmobiles now, the snow beast decides to rip the skis off the back of their camper.
Well,
So
there's a shot during one of the wide shots where they're all on their snowmobiles. Gar and Ellen give each other a quick kiss, which I thought was cute. And but now again, we've just replaced skis with snowmobiles, and there's just a long sequence of them just
yeah,
riding around aimlessly on these snowmobiles.
yep, yep. So the snow beast rips the skis off the back of the camper, and they arrive and find that the skis are pulled down. And yeah, he's like sending them a message. I know where you are. I'm the snow beast. Um, the sheriff decides they should stay with the camper and wait for him instead, wait for the snow beast instead of just looking randomly around a mountain. I mean, if we're here, he's going to eventually come and get us, which I think was a smart move, which just shows how smart the people in Hartford, Illinois are. Um, so they decide to keep watch 2 at a time and stay the night in the camper. So they decide to split it up this way. Ellen is not going to be with her husband. She's going to be with Tony, and Tony's going to be with the sheriff. So Tony and the sheriff are taking the first shift outside, and of course, Ellen's inside cooking because thank God there's a woman here and we can use her for something. So
I said that. She's like, I'll go start dinner. I'm like, oh, sure, sure. Yeah, the woman's
yeah,
got to do that.
yeah, I was like, whatever. So anyway, Ellen is cooking and Tony is flirting with her. And he says, why did you decide against me? And she says, I loved both of you, but Gar needed me. No, that's why you run from Gar. You don't marry people that need you because they don't get less needy, they get more needy. I should know. A lot of women married me because I was needy. So,
I don't think that was the reason. I think you're
oh
being too hard
well,
on yourself.
it's a good story though. Um, so she said, yeah, I loved you both, but Gar needed me. Then they decide to be friends and they kiss on the lips, like me and my friend JJ always do, or, you know, me and my friend Mike, see each other kiss on the lips, so stuff like
Yeah.
that. Um, Tony and Ellen stand watch outside with their guns while the others go in to eat and sleep. So the next morning, Gar brings Ellen and Tony coffee, and there's this big stack of logs, like lumberjacks to the left, kind of bundled, stacked, come back and get later. And the snow beast pushes a stack of logs. It goes down the side of the mountain and rolls into the camper and turns it on its side. And the sheriff is inside. Oh, it's going to happen to Clint Walker. This is kind of scary. So the beast comes to the camper and kills the trapped sheriff.
Well, I mean,
And
technically they ditch.
yeah, they ran away and they ditched him.
Yeah.
But did you hear him scream?
No.
Oh, he screamed like a 5-year-old girl. You got this all of a sudden, when the snow beast comes in. So the other three run away. They run away without their guns, and they decide to go to the barn.
Oh,
And
and they one of them says that was a planned counterattack. And I'm like,
yeah,
was it though?
yep, that
I mean,
was.
did he put the logs there? Because then I might say you have a point, but he really just kind of kicked some logs down the hill.
But in the director's cut, you see him looking, and he's got a schematic of all his plans, and that was one of them to kick logs into the camper.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Uh,
see that cut.
Ellen and Tony are hesitant to go to the farm because that's where he sources his kills to eat later. And Tony decides to go back to the camper to get the skis and the rifles because it's going to be easier to fight them with rifles than with their bare hands, I guess. So, so we're back at the camper. The beast has carried off the sheriff, and they go into the overturned camper and they find the extra guns. Ellen goes and finds skis. Tony finds a revolver, and the beast is right up the hill looking at them. So Tony takes a revolver and takes 2 shots at the beast and hits him twice, apparently. And then he throws the gun to Gar, who chases the beast on his skis. And Gar sees bloody footprints as he's chasing, so he knows he's on this. He knows he's on the bloody beast's trail. I guess British thing. So Ellen and Tony find the rifles and they ski towards Gar and the beast. And the snow beast, you're seeing from his point of view, he's going to kill Gar. He's charging him. But Gar, who is out of bullets at this time, takes his snow pole or his ski pole, props it up against a tree, and a ski pole has about 2 inches of spike on it, rams into the snow beast, and that's what killed the snow beast. Was it?
Well, and we do get a full-on look at the snow beast 2 minutes from the end of the movie. And it kind of looks like the gremlin from Nightmare at 20,000 Feet if it had like a rough couple of decades.
um, so that's how the movie ends, and um, they were going to make Snow Beast 2, and I guess political things got in the way, and they were trying to negotiate with the Snow Beast, and he says, "I don't want to die in this one." So anyway,
Yep.
that is the Snow Beast. So Tabitha, do you think I saw this at the original airing? Did I see a repeat of it, or is this the first time I've seen Snow Beast?
I hope you saw the original airing.
I did not. I saw it. I rented it. I rented it with your mom. Um, we were like first year we were married, and I thought it looked cool because I was that age. "Oh, this is cool," and it was so bad. I mean, do you give this a classic or a trash it?
It's a bad
That
movie. Do you
it's a
know this
terrible.
movie got the Riff Tracks treatment?
Oh, really?
I couldn't
I
find the whole thing. I could only find clips, but yeah.
uh, the sad thing is Yvette or Yvette, whatever, she is good in this. She is fine.
Yeah.
No one else is. It's obvious this is all a phone in, you know.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for a check. Um, but Robert Logan, I don't know if he can act or he can't act, but he certainly didn't even try in this movie.
No.
Um, his his tone would be off with his emotions sometimes. I'm thinking, wait a minute,
Yeah.
that you're sending mixed signals here. You're saying one thing, but it's coming out a different way. Um, Bo Svensson, not that good. Don't know why he got top billing. And um, that old lady was okay, I guess, until her crown got stomped.
No.
Mm. Oh, so we are going to trash this one, and I don't even think it's close. What are we going to watch next week?
Next week, we're going to watch a spooky little thriller called The Victim with Elizabeth Montgomery.
Oh, sounds bewitching. Can't wait to watch that.
Ah,
See what I did there?
yeah, yes.
Yeah. So we've had mm, two movies so far with Jeannie, and this will be the second movie with Samantha. So we've got
Yes.
yeah. So they're
Mm,
kind of doing that jockeying thing for TV movies. We'll see who wins at the end.
we'll see.
Barbara Eden's still alive. She may make another movie here. No.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Elizabeth Montgomery passed away some years ago. She died
Very long time
relatively
ago.
young. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I was watching E True Hollywood Story years ago. Man, she was married like four times within the span of 10 years. Um, just had terrible luck in weddings, and then she passed away early, kind of sad.
Yeah, poor thing.
Well, on that sad note, I do want to wish everybody a happy Easter because we are filming this on Easter, and I hope you all found all your eggs. And hopefully, come June, you don't smell something and lift up the couch and there's an egg you forgot about. It happens. It happens. So, all right, we'll see you next week. Bye bye.